The gangster genre is deeply rooted in the concept of the American dream, which states that anyone, regardless of how humble his origins, can succeed. For much of its history, America's wealth and political power has been primarily wielded by successive generations of white, Anglo-Saxon, highly educated, and Protestant ruling class. American heroes like Daniel Boone, leaders like Andrew Jackson and Abraham Lincoln, and popular novelists like Horatio Alger Jr. challenged this tradition of power by birthright. Their example gave rise to the notion that anyone with intelligence and spunk can rise to great riches or power through hard work and bold action. The nation's expanding population of working-class American immigrants were eager to embrace this rags-to-riches mythology. Film noir is a cinematic term used primarily to describe stylish Hollywood's crime dramas, particularly such that emphasize cynical attitudes and sexual motivations. Hollywood's classical film noir period is generally regarded as extended from the early 1940s to the late 1950s. Film noir of this era is associated with a low-key, black-and-white visual style and has roots in German expressionism cinematography. Many of the prototypical stories and much of the attitude of classic noir derive from the hard-boiled school of crime fiction that emerged in the United States during the Great Depression. It seems logical to think of science fiction as being speculative fantasy about the potential wonders of technological advances, but most science fiction films are not really about science. If we tried to prove the science that most sci-fi films present, much of it would be quickly exposed as ridiculous. Instead, the genre's focus is on humanity's relationship with the science and technology it generates. Science fiction existed as a literary genre long before movies were invented. The genre began in the early 19th century as a reaction to the radical societal and economical changes spurred by the Industrial Revolution. Horror is a film genre seeking to elicit a negative emotional reaction from viewers by playing on the audience's primal fears. Inspired by literature from authors like Edgar Allan Poe, Bram Stoker, and Mary Shelley, horror films have existed for more than a century. The supernatural are frequent themes and may overlap with the fantasy, supernatural fiction, and thriller genres.
Looks like we're shy of one horse.
You brought too many.
The American Film Institute defines Western films as those set in the American West that embody the spirit, the struggle, and the demise of the new frontier. The term Western, used to describe a narrative film genre, appears to have originated with a July 1912 article in Motion Picture World magazine. Most of the characteristics of Western films were part of a 19th century Western fiction and were firmly in place before film became a popular art form. Western films commonly feature protagonists such as cowboys, gunslingers, and bounty hunters, who are often depicted as semi-nomadic wanderers who wear Stetson hats, bandanas, spurs, and buckskins, use revolvers or rifles as everyday tools of survival, and ride between dusty towns and cattle ranches on trusty steeds.
Horns were black and shiny, and their hot breath he could feel. A bolt of fear went through him as they thundered through the sky, for he saw the riders coming hard, and he heard their mournful cry. Yippee-i-oh, yippee-i-ay, ghost riders in the sky.
The musical film is a film genre in which songs sung by the characters are interwoven into the narrative, sometimes accompanied by dancing. The songs usually advance the plot or develop the film's characters, though in some cases they serve merely as breaks in the storyline, often as elaborate production numbers. The musical film was a natural development of the stage musical after the emergence of sound film technology.
Tommy,
The good. What is that? The good, the bad, the ugly. Classical spaghetti,